So, as you might have seen on Facebook, again if you're following me, I already posted up there, I have taken my first dip into laser cutting. So let's have a look. So yes, if you haven't seen it on Facebook already, I've decided to take a dip into laser cutting because I think it could solve some of my manufacturing problems with the casting of the silver, etc. Plus, as I said, I think I said it in my last video, it's so much cheaper, blah blah blah, but this isn't about that. This is about RazorLABs, because they're just who I decided to use. You know, I just googled things and I ended up at their website, and it's been really easy to work with them. Obviously, firstly I had to learn Illustrator a little bit, and so I got all that, and then I went onto their website. Maybe I'll try and screen capture some of this. Yeah, I went onto their website. It was really easy to use. They told you what colours you, because every website seems to be different about the colours you're using in Illustrator to how it works with theirs. So for instance, on one website you had to do red lines for it to cut, but on RazorLABs I think it's blue, and red I think might just be for etching, but don't quote me on that one. So that was really simple. Also, when you load up a design, I finished the design on Sunday. It actually comes up and tells you that it's wrong and how to submitted it. For instance, the first time I did it, I forgot to change the colours of blue. I left it as black, I do believe, and it came up with a little worked on. I got emailed almost straight away, you know, this wasn't right, saying, you know, make sure the colours are blue, blah 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 blah. So changed it to blue. Worked on the Tuesday, I got an email from with all the works there, estimated, asking whether they wanted that was fine, or did I want my pieces, because I didn't fill the sheet, because you had to buy like an 18cm square sheet, and I didn't fill that sheet, and they were like, do you want us to scale up your designs to fill out, like maximise the most? I didn't. I wanted these kept quite small because obviously they're earrings, and I couldn't afford to fill the whole thing, so that's why I'm only getting like 2/3 of the sheet cut. But I thought that was good that they like got into contact with you to make sure you know that's what you wanted to do, giving you another option. And then I think it said there was like 28 days or something between ordering and getting made. However, I got a message today. Today is Wednesday. So bearing in mind it got ordered Monday night, I got contacted Tuesday. It's been shipped today on Wednesday. That's 3 days. So I've just got to wait for it to turn up and see the quality of it, really. Yeah. Everything's works really well so far. I mean, they've been really easy to work with. Every step along the way as well, they've been like, oh, your design's now being processed, or it's being made, or it's being shipped. And that's always nice. They keep you really well informed. You can always go back on their website, like I am now, and yep, it says there's like 4 steps: order received, design verified, material selected, and then made and shipped. And yeah, mine got made and shipped, like those 4 steps, within 2 days, which is really, I think that's really good. So just got to wait until they get here, see the quality of them, I guess, and my colour choice, because that's probably a bit of the only way I can see this going wrong at the moment is if it comes and it's not very well cut, but I can't believe that, or I just did something wrong and I'll have to do it all again. But it's all learning. It's a new process. Like I say, I only learned Illustrator in like a day for what I need to do. I didn't learn it. Obviously, you could be a huge master of it, but I'm not. I just learned what I needed to learn. Now I know how to do that, I think, and we'll find out. So I'll leave this here for now. I know I look a bit rough, but I'll get back to you when it arrives. So fingers crossed, I've done it all right. So different day, different jumper. It's raining. but that's not the point. Today is Friday, and that's what I did the other video Wednesday, the other half of this video Wednesday. It's been another 2 days. My package has arrived. So it's been what? I ordered it Monday night, so it's been Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so about 4 days. It's pretty good, I think. It's a bit skinny, must admit. But thinking about it, I did order plastic, and so it's quite hard itself. It's not going to get dented or anything. There is this fragile tape they stuck on it. Not that the post office tends to really care about that sort of thing. They just chuck these all over the place like airports, but never mind. So yeah, being plastic, I don't know if you ordered the cardboard or whatever. Maybe I'll have to see whether it comes packaged a little differently. But this is just comes. It looks like it's just folded up in some cardboard. But let's get it open and have a look. Bear with. There we go. So it's a bit hard because you might notice that I'm using both hands this time in this video. That's because I rigged my own little camera stand, which was basically a bit of insulation, like pipe insulation foam, and I've stuck it to the top of my monitor. And so I kind of got to hold this up. But there we go. So it's a bit like the cardboard you get from Amazon stuff. And you open it up and, oh look, there's a little thank you for 3D printing by welcome anyone from any level. Okay, gives you a bit of information on stuff, I guess. So let's put that aside. And then, I don't know if you can see, this is just the plastic. That must be the 18, let's measure it slightly. I don't have an 18cm ruler with me, so if it's bigger than 15, it should be about 18. Yeah, I don't know if you're, let's get some light back on the subject, if you're going to be able to see this, but it's just about longer than the 15mm ruler. And so let's get rid of the cardboard. Like I say, it's kind of packaged like Amazon stuff comes sometimes, you know, just sort of wrapped up in the cardboard. So, and the plastic's quite sturdy, like the good old Perspex. That's interesting. Like, they send you the whole sheet apparently, which is quite nice. And I imagine the bits just pop out, but you can't really see it on this side. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it as well as I can, but on this side, oh, it's not going to focus properly, but there's actually like paper on the top of things. However, some of the bits have fallen out already, so whether they must cut it out and then stick the paper on the top afterwards. But it all looks pretty good to me. So, shall we take you down and get ready for a bit of a close-up? So there we go, there's like the paper. So this is the side I found it on, and it's like, you can see my designs all cut out there. Getting a sneak peek of the orange. You get much more, look at that for a colour. But yeah, then you can see all these like paper where it must have been on top when they laser cut it out. However, the bits in these ones, wait, can you see? They've actually disappeared. The plastic's actually disappeared out of them. Oh, and that one up there. But it hasn't on the other ones. So, shall I? Oh, let's. Oh, I can't wait. I've got to pop one out. Which one should I pop out? I want to do this one, this style one, because it reminds me of a phoenix or something. So let me quickly do that. And there we have it. Like, you can see the size of some of the parts compared to my finger. And look how thin some of it. I haven't taken the paper off the backside yet, so it's not quite as like transparent as it should be, I don't think. But look how thin this plastic has managed to go in some places, and it's still fairly, like, if you really go at this, it will snap. I'm just going to say that. I mean, it's meant to be 3mm thick, and it looks about right. I do have the ruler, but I'm using one hand to hold this at the moment. So, I mean, it's very... Oh, that bit's quite a bit wiggly. Although, it's going to take some to snap that, I think. And so I really like the colour of this. I really like the shapes. I really like how thin you can, like, really, I know it's a bit out of focus, but look at the size compared to my thumb as well. Thumb length. Let's get the ruler back out. Where did I put my ruler? So it should be about 5 to 6 centimeters long, and if you look at that, it's about what? Just over 5.5, maybe 56 millimeters, 57 millimeters for that one. Some of the other ones 50. This was the longest one I got done, so I'm really happy with these. They've come out really perfect. Let's look at the edges. I don't know, can you see the edges? Really glossy. I'll just take a closer look myself. Some of them are a bit ridgy. Not the smoothest thing in the world. So I might have to get in there and try and smooth them out a little bit. Or I keep it, see, oh there you go, you can just see all the ridges running around the edge. That might just be because of the lines I used weren't quite as smooth, I don't know. Or if that's just the nature of laser cutting, that it puts those ridges into it. Can you see there? And see more of the ridges along there if I can get the light. Also, because they seem to come with the plastic and the paper on top, if you're very sneaky, you can get some paper cutting done. Look at that. So if you're very sneaky and you want the same paper and plastic design for some reason, yeah, there you go, some free laser paper cutting for you. And so yes, this is the sheet. I don't know if they always send the sheet, but that's always good. So they come, they're not rattling around in there. It was a bit, like, it wasn't too hard to get this out, obviously, because I've still got the other side on this. Woo! So yeah, that was easy to get out, just a bit of persuasion, and the other one should come out pretty easy. There you go, can you see it popping up? There we go. Is it? I think they're still stuck a little bit in there, or it might just be the friction. But I really like the way there's like double layers to protect the plastics from scratching. There is not a mark on the top of this at all. Can you see that? It's like glass on the top. And so I guess I should go and see quickly what this looks like on some leather. So I'll be right back quick. So the other day I made some practice earrings. I also managed to get more texture into the leather, but it stays flooded. It's more like woohoo! I dropped it. Like, I don't know if you can see very well on the camera. It's sort of these like little puddles, more texture, rather than being very wavy, which means it's very easy to work with. Plus it stays more supple, so it's a lot softer still. And there's this one. Can you see the big ridge there? So it's much more subtle textures. And then I also made some, there we go. There's just a little bit on that one. Because these were tested, so I don't want to use the best bits. You can just about see that, I think, on camera, especially at the top there, the big ridge. And so this was one of the designs I've been looking at. I'm not quite sure what to do. So, like, with these, I can try and get it a bit more interesting. Well, there we go. So with these, obviously, I can make them all the same. Like, I can do the leather and then cut them all out and make them all. And they'll all be like uniform, but with slightly different texture on them. So they'll all be slightly different, but they'll all be the same design style. Whereas with these, I used the same textured leather, but I tried cutting around the parts I thought were most interesting, which gives different shapes, which means even though these ones are both, quotation marks, different, they are still the same style, whereas these are different. And obviously these will be a lot easier to make than these, even though there's a little bit of gluing going on over there. And I'm still doing studs. I could change these because they're not so wavy. I could make them hoops, but that's a different thing. Let me know your ideas on that. I'll probably stick with the studs for now. And then the studs hidden on this one, whereas on this one, to hide it, I'd still have to fold it over, which would mean there would be a definitive straight line on it, and I didn't quite think that followed what I was doing. So is this distracting? Is the whole shape distracting? Is it weird that every single earring would be completely different? Or do you prefer the more, I guess these are more conservative slightly, you know. They're slightly more uniform. They look roughly the same till you get close, and so they are, and then you know they're a little bit different from each other, whereas these are obviously a lot different. So this is something I've been racking my brains over the last couple of days, but I guess it's a lot easier to tell when we bring Mr. Fantastic Plastic over and try them on. So you'd have to go in roughly the same place as the stud, because obviously they've got to connect. Oh, I'm liking that colour difference. I don't know about you, but I'm liking that. It actually looks a bit like flames. Now, I didn't actually intend on that. I was just going with a contrasting colour to the blue I had, which happens to be kind of an orangey colour, I think. Red and yellow. Yep. Is it? Yeah, red and yellow and blue, yeah. So it's contrasting is orange. But I'm really liking that contrast. I'm quite liking the difference there. Like this, because these are quite sharp, obviously, the edges, and slender, and that's all sort of wavy. I'm really liking the contrast there. Let's try it on this one. Oh, look, that one stays a bit better. I like the way it sort of flows off to the edge as well, which would be interesting. Because going back to the whole studs on the outside, studs hidden, I did this just in case people wanted, like, you guys didn't like the two together, so these could be sold on their own. And if I do sell them on their own, I'd prefer to do this way, I think, because I can hide the stud. But if I put these on top, the stud would have to come through, because obviously it's got to hold this as well. And it's got to go through the leather. So let's just try that on there. Are you going to stay nicely for me? What about on that one? It's not going to stay very well, but there we go. A little bit. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I prefer, guys. Well, enough dog barking. My niece and nephew came home from school. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know what I prefer. I'm liking the colours. I'm just gonna say that. I don't think I'm gonna. Well, I could change the colours, but it depends. Do people want these on their own? I think if I make these on their own, I might have to make them a bit more, slightly bigger. Do they like? But what do you like? Do you like them on these, like, let's say the banners, or the freeform splats? So banners or splats? What do people prefer? I think I'm leaning towards the banners slightly myself. I think because there's so much going on with the acrylic by itself, or the, what's it called? It begins with a P, I've forgotten it already. Plastic, that's not the word I'm looking for. The perspex. Because there's so much going on with the perspex or acrylic or whatever, I don't really know plastics. I think I would prefer the slightly textured back with the very wavy perspex. So yes, I think I prefer the banner one, because yeah, like I said, there's so much going on with the actual perspex, and there's so much going on this by itself, the shape and texture alone. They're both kind of, I know it's a contrast, but it's maybe one contrast too far. I sometimes do that with my designs, whereas this is a very, still a minor contrast, but not quite so bad, because obviously it's such a generic shape. Also, I could have this going up this way around. Ooh, I actually quite like it that way around. Anyway, so let me know your ideas on whether you prefer this shape, this shape. Obviously I've got all these ones to try out. I'll probably make another video just showing you these on top of all these, because obviously this video is more about RazorLabs and the job they did with cutting these out. because I haven't tried anybody else yet, I think it's very good. Like, even this down to this sharp point, it's gone pretty sharp, so I might actually just have to sand it off because it's a little bit too sharp. And some of the other points are quite sharp, but it seems very close to my design. Maybe a bit thinner than I was expecting, but that might just be because I'm unexperienced. But yeah, oh, you can see how the light will come through because it's transparent. And it doesn't show up very much at the moment because obviously I haven't taken the back off. You can just see it on the edges. So hopefully that'll add another dimension to it as well. But yes, overall, pretty happy with this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to clean up the inside or if I even have to, so let me know about that. Or if you know of a quick way of doing it, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get in there with sandpaper. Especially some of the smaller holes. So let me know. Let me know if you've had any dealings with RazorLabs or anybody else maybe I should look at trying out afterwards. But I should say that the way they've treated me, helped me, and how easy it was to use, I would be very tempted to try them again. And if you're thinking of doing first time laser printing, go check them out because yeah, they were very helpful. So let me know what you think of everything. Go check out RazorLabs if you want to. I didn't actually don't get paid for for suggesting them or anything. I just do it because I want to, you know. I used them, they were good. I'm going to tell people. Hopefully people do the same about my stuff if they ever buy it, and etc, etc. Look at the texture. Anyway, yes, RazorLabs were brilliant for me. Probably use them again at some point. I might try out a different company to begin with if I do a next lot, just to see how different it is, whether they're better or worse, you know, like this is going to be my control, and it was very good. So leave your comments down below, and I shall catch you next time. Sparks out. I can't wink. Oh well. Doodles. Pretty myself up. Phone. My package has arrived. My package has arrived. I need a proper camera for this. Zoom out, just lift up my camera. Zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. Anyway.